So folks, how are you? Just want to run through this one, how to get a self-built mortgage and the role of the quantity surveyor in there. So there's different stages that the money is released at different stages. Upon the purchase of the site it can be released, not usual for homeowners, but it can be. Then a foundation stage, then a wall plate stage. Wall plate is the timber on top of the blocks that the roof sits upon, and this timber sits upon the roof and sits upon the blocks, and then the roof sits upon that and spreads out its load. So then roof completion, first fix, so when all the electrics and plumbing are first fixed before plastering, and then that's kind of the last amount is at second fix and finally done. So at this stage here, what you'll tend to see is once it gets here, the engineer will fade into the background a little bit and he'll come at the end just to certify again. So that is it. Without a QS involved, then you hit a snag and not knowing how much you're doing, not being able to prepare the documents and not to be able to get cash flow quick. The one thing I would say is, if irrespective of whether you pick up the phone or not, please just make sure that for the first loan you have it aligned. You give the bank fair warning that is going to come. You make sure everybody's there. First payment tends to be difficult, the first release in the payment, so just for everybody. I charge $950 to set up an Excel sheet to do all the homework to get it aligned, and what I do is, in effect, I take the bill of quantities figures and I put them into the bank loan figures and I adjust them, and each one of them does it differently. And then there's different professional fees need to be added in, there's other service fees needed, and then there's other costs. So there's a fair bit of playing around with it to get it right. So typically you can kind of see the spread of it, and the way that it does, it goes in an S shape. That's the way cash flow goes. It goes in an S shape. An S-shaped curve. The bank needs to know their money's safe. They need to know how much it's going to cost and when it's going to be drawn down, and that's all part of your mortgage agreements. Once again, just so I do a grant service as well as the mortgage. They can be wrapped into one. So the three professionals on a self-built are the architects, the engineers, quantity surveyors, certify the works, planning permission, building regs, certify the actual construction element, verify verify and quantify. So we don't really verify, we quantify that the works have been done and the amount of financial reimbursement is correct at this stage per element. So practical tips: appoint a QS. I know, but it just takes so much hassle out of it. Stage scheduled so you know what you're going to be paying, when you're going to get it. You can coordinate with the bank. You have to build in the contingency. 15 may be a little bit high, but definitely 10. But the banks would want to see it up to 15, and then you got to keep your records. Once again, a little bit of propaganda there, so I won't stay on that one. And then, who needs a QS for the mortgage? Building a new house, major renovations and refurbishments and extensions, and then the vacancy as well, vacancy grants. So if I can help in any way, get in contact. So I would just like to say, just The one thing about this is just please make sure that you get in contact with the bank. Oh, years and years and years ago, I lost out in a project in Rathfarnham, and I think I lost out in it by about 3,000 or 4,000. So, chatting to the architect, who was actually a friend of mine, and he said, "Well," he said, "you really looked out." And I said, "I looked out." And he said, "Yeah, Rory," said, "the builder went in, the builder went full on, everybody was happy with everybody, and then they couldn't find the deeds of the house. So the builder had done a colossal amount of work, paid a colossal amount of money up front for his materials, labour, his overheads, his production, his hoarding, his insurance, the whole 9 yards. And then they kept looking and the builder trusted the process, and he did 2 or 3 months and he was majorly in the hole, and they couldn't find the title deeds of their house, and they eventually found it, but 3, 4, 5 months in, and it was stagnation. That builder was carrying all that debt. So on both sides, clarification needs to be done, the documents need to be in thing. If I can help in any way, great. Thanks, look after yourselves, and I really appreciate the time that you spent here. Thanks so much. Talk to you.